Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to be looking at Bitcoin, its valuations against the US dollar, reviewing the recent move that we've had, just a quick market update. Bitcoin is up almost 2% for the day, 1.86. It is up about 4.12% for the week. So the past 2 days we have been on an uptrend, which is nice to see, but kind of maybe somewhat expected considering the drop that we've had again from the prior all-time high at $69,000 to 42. We dropped roughly about 38% in total when you account for the wick. But to where we are right now, we're down about 24.67%. We're inching ever so close to the 20-week moving average. Right now, the 20-week moving average is at $52,481. All one needs to do really is just flip it to the hourly to see how close we are to the 20-week moving average. And in actuality, when looking at the recovery, this is good. The trend seems to be going up for the past. This is the hourly, so I wouldn't take too much stock into this. But since the fourth, um, we have been trending up, right? We can see higher lows, right? Two lows that we've printed right now, and a higher high and a higher high. So even if we come back down, for today or the next couple of days, and we're able to print a higher low at that time, then we're still on the right track. Again, when we look at the weekly and the 20-week moving average, and in realness, when we look at how hot Bitcoin needs to put in another 2% to get to the 20-week moving average. 2.5% would technically get back above it. But with that said, if Bitcoin is able to come back above the 20-week moving average in a short amount of time, then I would consider this null and void, right? Like it never happened. Especially if Bitcoin's able to get back above the 20-week this week. So get back above it, close above it before the week's end. There's 5.5 days left. I would say that's we're back in business essentially. Like this drop never happened is how I would put it. And it's the same kind of mentality when we look back in time when we saw this move here, where Bitcoin actually did get below the 20-week moving average and came right back up. Um, so that's something to take into consideration. And this is no small move, right? From the 20-week to that high was 1,000% move in a very short amount of time. So I wouldn't necessarily expect Bitcoin to, make it 1,000% move in that short amount of time. But I think if anything, that would kind of indicate to us that we're back in business. The market's still going to go, and buckle your seatbelts. Until then, we have no confirmation, and we can flip it to the hourly and make the argument say, look, when we look at the RSI on the hourly, we're getting into oversold territory now, where we kind of peaked up at 69.70. We could go a little higher, but uh, it could come back down, right? And we could get it rejected off the 20-week moving average. If we get rejected off the 20-week moving average, then the 50-week moving average would be the next kind of line of defense for us, which is not too far. Um, the which is the scary thing, right? There's not much cushion between us and the 50-week right now. The 50-week is at 47,458, and we kind of bounced off of that this week actually as well. So the 50-week has been uh, quite the reliable partner, right? It held us here back in the summer of 2020. It held us here also in the summer of 2021, and it's holding us now in Q4 of 2021. So the 50-week moving average this cycle has been quite the reliable partner, more reliable, I would say, than the 20-week moving average. But we shall see. I do not think this cycle is over, um, which explains why I still have a portfolio in the cryptocurrency market. If I were one that doesn't think that this is the end, not that Bitcoin's going to go to zero, but we're going to have a prolonged bear market like we did back in 2018, 2019, then I would sell everything, right? I would be running to the hills at this point. I do not think that is the case yet, and so I will continue to hold. I still have a sizable Bitcoin is still my largest position in my portfolio. I still hold my futures contracts, etc. Um, but I mean, even when you take a look at the monthly, folks, how much are we down? We're down 9.22% on the monthly. Okay. We've had worse months before this year. Back in May, we are down 35%. So, we have 24 days left in the month. Um, and, macro speaking, we are still trending up, even accounting, if we just measure it from the bear market of 2019, we're still trending up. Okay. So, I things are scary. I know. I checked yesterday on the fear and greed index, and it was at 16, which I found quite interesting. But regardless of that, um, I think Bitcoin has the ability to get back above the 20-week moving average this time around. Um, and for a number of reasons, including the monthly RSI, and just the amount of time spent during this cycle, I do not yet think that the party is over. But for all of you, you could de-risk. You can increase your fiat position if that's something that you want to do. You can increase in a more stable investment to hedge against Bitcoin, but still try to make some kind of return. Like flip-flopping between the S&P and Bitcoin could be a viable option for you. But that is only if like this still scares you, right? If this still scares you, then I don't think that's quite worth having that portfolio if you're not going to be able to sleep at night. And let alone like if it does break down further, then what are you going to do then? So I think for people who are a little scared, there's nothing stopping you from selling a bit of your position off to have a smaller portfolio, have less exposure to the market, and that'll probably let you sleep better at night. But for those who don't think the cycle is over and you're not over leveraged, that you run risk of liquidation on a 50% move, then you know this is the moment for Bitcoin to really show its mettle. So we'll see in the next week, the rest of the week, I guess, on what Bitcoin's going to do. We're up, we have 3 green daily candles so far. So we'll see how this kind of plays out for the rest of the week. And if by the end of the week we are above the 20-week moving average, then it's hunky dory, and we're gonna be doing good. Anyway, that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.